Hey guys, welcome back to Moto Ramblings. Today I am on Big Yeller, my 2010 Honda Goldwing. Nice. Very bright. I am heading home from work on the Blue Ridge Parkway. It's a little bit after 7. You can see it's getting to be later in the year. I can see the sun is setting. And I am heading back to the house. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. If you like the video, think about clicking the like button and subscribing. Working on trying to get that subscriber count out a little bit. That'd be kind of cool. But see how you can sit here on the parkway and you can watch that shadow go up as the sun sets off to my left, west. And yeah, it's really cool sometimes to just watch. Instead of watching the sunset, you just watch the shadow creep up and just slowly climb to the top of those peaks. You know, you can see how bright it is, and it just eventually the shadows take over. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Stop bragging about where you live, right? And so, anyway, I wanted to chat a little bit today, just to say hi. I've had a couple of videos recently that, actually, no, they probably weren't recently, but I think you've probably watched a couple of videos by now where I was in the keeping it real, and a couple of them got kind of dark. But this one, I'm going to tell you a little bit about coming to Western North Carolina and how I've just absolutely fallen in love with this place, even before I actually rekindled my motorcycle addiction. I came here in November 1994. So, of course, middle of winter, no leaves on the trees, kind of a dreary time of the year, I guess, in most places. And, of course, I work at the post office. So, you come to work at a place in November, well, you're working a whole lot of long hours, and I was working the overnight shift. And, yeah, when I first got here, I was like, whoa, man, I'm not so sure I'm going to handle this. I was homesick. I wanted to just go home. Well, I didn't, thank goodness. Stuck it out. Thanks, Mom. She made a big difference in helping me stick it out. I eventually started making some friends and started hanging out with people. And I started, kind of, hey, this place is kind of neat. Started exploring. I met a guy, after I'd been here for several months, I met a guy who lived in the same apartment complex as I did. And, we were having a good time. And one day we were heading out to work at the same time. And he went a different way. I'm like, that's weird. He must be going somewhere. Well, I get to work. He's already there, ready to work. And I was like, what the heck? He's like, oh, I thought you were going somewhere. I'm like, no, I thought you were. He said, I know a much shorter way to work. So I'd been living here for a couple of 3 months or something like that, going the long way to work, not even realize it was a short way. Yeah, I'm not the most brilliant guy in the world. And so, anyway, after being here for a little while, I was like, this place is really cool. And I did have a Goldwing at the time. Met a girl, and she and I hung out. We took some rides. But we never really did a whole lot of motorcycling. And then I decided it was time to buy a place, and ended up selling the motorcycle so I could use that money for down payment on a home. And by this time, I was getting married and going to be a dad.
Hey there, Walt here from Walt NPA, coming to you from the back roads of Southeast Pennsylvania, and you're watching Moto Ramblings.
And so, motorcycle went away, kid came, house came, life came. It was pretty awesome. And when the kid got older, I started riding again. Told you that whole story. Well, even then, I really wasn't doing a lot. I mean, I was commuting to work, Occasionally I'd go out just for a cruise, but I didn't know much about the area other than getting to and from work and, some of the little back roads to, different places that my wife and I had discovered, but nothing fun. I think I had lived here for a number of years. I mean, a pretty significant number of years before I ever even heard of the Tail of the Dragon. Yeah. I live in motorcycle Mecca, and I'd never even heard of it. So I started hanging out with a buddy, and he got addicted to the motorcycling, and we ended up just riding together constantly. And, yeah, the addiction got a hold of me full-fledged. And I started discovering new roads, started realizing that, holy crap, there's a lot of fun to be had around here. And sure enough, now it's, just constantly exploring, looking for the new roads, riding familiar roads just for the fun of it. And, if you have the ability in any way, shape, or form to come to the Smoky Mountains, I'm just outside of Asheville because of my job, but if you come to the Smoky Mountains, spend some time here. Don't just come for a couple of days and go ride the Dragon. Chopper Fett just did a video where he talked about his top 5 road trips in the U.S., and of course the Smoky Mountains was on it. And I mentioned in a comment to him that, if you do come, plan on spending some time here. I think anybody who's been here will probably tell you the same thing, that they wish they had more time because there's so much to explore, so many roads to ride. Most people know the Tail of the Dragon. They know the Cherahela Skyway. Moonshiner 28 runs right up in that same vicinity. But you can cross over into Eastern Tennessee, home of Ty from Tennessee, Tennessee Wingman, Memphis Mike's in Tennessee. Not quite in Eastern Tennessee, but, he's not far from Eastern Tennessee. All of us get to ride incredible mountain roads on both sides of the Tennessee border. The Cherahela, the Tail of the Dragon, Moonshiner 28, all in that area in and around the Robbinsville area, Fontana Dam. That's awesome. I mean, and, even me living, within an hour and a half, I go there. That's a destination for me. Matter of fact, I got a Vstrom rally coming up in Robbinsville in a couple of weeks. You'll see videos soon, I hope. Might not be until dead of winter at this point. But there's so many other roads. The Foothills Parkway over there near Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, it crosses over and eventually gets you down toward Maryville, Tennessee, and eventually to the Tail of the Dragon. But there's so many others. You get to North Georgia. If you went from the Tail of the Dragon area went across the Cherahela, and you end up over in Tennessee. God, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the town right there. But you end up over at the other end of the Cherahela Skyway. There's roads that go down into North Georgia to the Two Wheels of Such's campground, 60 and 68. Holy cow, are those fun, twisty mountain roads. I mean, incredible riding. And then once you're there at Two Wheels of Such's, there's rides from the campground. I mean, they've got this thing, they call it the 6-gap loop. It goes through 6 mountain gaps. So you can imagine, this is one twisty route. It's a big old loop that you can do, figure 8 kind of loop, and come back to the Two Wheels of Such's campground, which is incredible, by the way. Love that place. That and the Iron Horse, to me, they're very similar. Right down to they both have a stream running through it where you pitch your tents. Pretty cool. But anyway, if you come to this area, spend some time here. Nick Moto, I'm sure you would agree. When you were here, there was so much and incredible roads. You know, hopefully this channel will show you some of them and highlight some of them. I know by now you've all seen me riding 209. They nicknamed that one the Rattler, just because it's so close to home and it is so much fun. You know, up and down off the Parkway, there's a gazillion roads that come off the Parkway, both gravel and paved, that are just an absolute blast. They're starting to nickname those roads. There's a map that you get free at a lot of different places along, like these motorcycle roads. The Trust General stores right in the middle of 209, and you know they have them, and all these other places, you know, that cater to motorcycles have these wild rides map. And the guys who put the map together tried to do as many loops as possible, including some gravel. And I think my camping trip, I tried to do one of them, but my GPS wasn't working for me. But anyway, if you come to the area, you get one of these maps. Oh man, you need to do it, because it highlights a ton of roads that you might not have ever thought even existed, all right within the area. I think that map covers Southern Virginia, Western North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, North Georgia. You know, and I know they have other maps for like the northern area above Virginia, up into West Virginia and the North Virginia area. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff on there that's just awesome. You know, the stake that I rode just recently when I went to the camping thing. You know, all of this stuff is on this Wild Rides map, and yeah, it's just, if you own a motorcycle, of course, the Tail of the Dragon's the holy grail, and it's a great road. I love it. You know, don't let anybody tell you it's a letdown, because it is not a letdown. But it is just a twisty, fun road. Ride your own ride, take your time, do what you need to do to enjoy it. Don't push yourself, don't get yourself into trouble to where you're, you know, beyond your comfort. But there's a ton of other roads, I won't say just like it, but there's a ton of other roads that are awful good around here. And, you know, some of them aren't even going to be on that Wild Rides map. They're just locally known roads that are just a ton of fun. So, anyway, I think I've done enough bragging about where I live, enough bragging about how much fun I have riding these roads. So, for now, I think it's time to sign off. This is Moto Ramblings, and I hope everyone can stay safe, stay well, but most of all, stay happy. Moto Ramblings out.